Hey, I'm Coach J.
I'm the G-Man.
We've built this podcast for the hardworking men and women of the automotive community.
Some of you will listen and be entertained.
Others will listen and apply.
Our purpose is to provide both.
Welcome to the Hard Shop Life. All right. Here we are back again. Hard Shop Life. This is Coach J and the
G-Man.
The Man.
I gotta be careful not to spike out our audio with
What's going on, G?
with the big G. It's all good, man.
So, bro, we're here in our we're recording, and we have like our new studio. We're in our offices. Yep. We're in good old Dallas, Texas.
Yep.
Right. You know, I've been getting a lot of people asking me, like, dude, why Dallas, Texas?
Yeah.
Why, dude?
Do we want to say why Dallas, Texas?
No, I'm gonna tell you Dallas, Texas, dude, because of the taxes, bro. I followed Elon. Followed Elon out here, bro.
Yeah, there's a reason why a lot of companies are moving out here.
Real,
they're very favorable to businesses, and I mean, honestly, when I was doing the math, because you know me, I really wanted to go to Denver. I love Denver. My wife and I both, our hearts in Denver, but I did the math in Denver. I was like, it couldn't come close.
It doesn't pencil.
It doesn't pencil, and so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna come to Texas and I'll visit Denver a lot. I'll visit San Francisco a lot. I'll visit these places I love.
I don't know. I'm still in San Francisco. I'm still loving it. But I think I may make the trek out here. Maybe.
Yeah.
It's looking like it's coming along.
I hear glimmers of hope. I hear keep mentioning it, but
I just need to be around water, bro. I'm just a water guy, man. Like I go to my Zen space.
Hold on.
I have a Zen space.
You need
no. Don't give me no artificial lakes, bro. I grew up with artificial lakes. I did. The Lake Lanier in Atlanta, Georgia.
All these
blah,
lakes.
blah, blah, blah. Yeah, they're all
crazy.
On, bro.
There's lakes everywhere. You want to go water? It's 10 minutes away. Go to water.
Anywhere.
You get a couple jet skis. You can go out there, wind in your hair.
Listen. I'm just telling you. Even though it's a bad excuse because Northern California is not the place you want to be near water because you're thinking that you're single.
Yeah.
So it's not the single place.
No.
But listen,
L.A.
I get it.
You want to be near water? Go to
Dude,
L.A.
Listen, man, I'm single J. Yeah. So when you're single J, you got to be around the single ladies, right?
Yeah.
And so there are no single ladies in Dallas, Texas. Everybody's married. They get married here at 17, right? You know, maybe I'll find a divorcee.
Everybody's married.
Yeah, they have kids.
Dude, there's 7 million people here. Everybody's not married.
Bro, everybody. I mean, come on, dude. Anyway, today's topic. Today's topic. It's perfect. It goes right into it, right? We're going to go right into it.
Yeah.
Today's topic is when is enough enough?
When is enough enough?
Right? And I'm bringing this up because, G-Man, it's enough. Stop begging me to come to Dallas, Texas. It's enough is enough. Seriously, that's ridiculous.
I haven't been begging. I told you the other night, I'm done. But we're not going to talk about it. I'm letting you. You're a big boy. You're going to make your own decisions. I told you how I felt, and then I moved on from it. So
I'm thinking about it.
And you're my partner, my friend, and I support you.
I know.
So you make a choice, and I'm going to stand by you 100%. Right, wrong, or indifferent, I'll do it.
And we got to be together.
It's the same for me.
You are my wife.
That's right.
Whatever the heck it is. All right, so let's get down to the nitty-gritty. We're talking about enough is enough. Now, this came up, G-Man, and actually it's been coming up a lot. No, not like a lot lately. It just comes up, right? And it's funny because I don't know. I'm on the fence about this one. I'm on the fence about this one because we strive to hit a goal, right? Like, let's say, and it was a perfect analogy. I got it from an advisor in the Midwest. A rock star, high performer, rock star, right? Mm-hmm. And he goes, listen, we're always trying to win the Super Bowl, right? But when you win the Super Bowl, the rules don't change. They don't add more games. They don't tell you, now here are the rules, which is wrong because I got, they changed the rules for overtime and nobody knew about it during my game, right?
Right.
My coach didn't know how to teach his players about the new rules of overtime.
Didn't know how to coach overtime.
For the Super Bowl. But anyway, truth be told, when is enough enough? Why do we keep striving for better, more improvement, more numbers, more growth, more this, right? It's like you're telling me to give you this, right? You're telling me the CSI needs to be a 98.
Right.
You're telling me that I need to give you, whatever hours per hour. I'm telling you the effective labor rate's got to be where it is. Right, I'm doing all those things. Yep. Get off my back.
Yep. I mean, that's a thing. That's a thing. That's definitely a thing. And that's I think that's exactly how they feel. They feel like all we keep asking for is more and more and more and more, right? Mm-hmm. And they don't understand why. They don't understand why aren't we satisfied? Like, think about that Super Bowl. Your team wins a Super Bowl, and they go and they celebrate for a little while, and they go to the party, and they have the parade and everything. And what are they doing next?
Going to Disneyland.
They went to Disneyland. Now what? They came back. Now what?
Yeah, well, now they won a three-peat, right? Like, so let's say the Kansas City Chiefs, they've won their second year in a row,
right?
And they're striving to say we're going to go for a three-peat.
Yep.
So it's something that you go after and say, can we do it? So I say this.
But I think so that's the thing. They approach it that way. Like, they win the Super Bowl and then they start planning for the next one.
Yeah.
Right? Because they're not saying, well, we won it and now give somebody else a shot. What they're saying is, we won it and we want to win it again.
Yeah, so to me, that's where I'm on the fence. I'm the person that says, when you hit the target, hit it again.
Yeah.
Hit it again.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like right now, I have a good friend of mine, and her son is he's a trap shooter, right? Like, or the, what do you call it? Is that clay shooter? He's a clay shooter?
Yeah.
Okay.
Trap and skeet, right?
Right,
So
whatever.
Skeet's the two houses and trap's the single one.
So this kid, right? He's a clay shooter or whatever. And the kid is getting 95 out of 100.
Right.
Okay. 95 out of 100.
Right.
His laser focus, right, which is, I think, amazing, is he doesn't care about hitting 100. He wants to be like, how many can I hit without missing?
Right. Yeah.
Right? And his number now is like 76.
Damn.
It's amazing.
That's a lot.
That's a lot, right? Just continuously, boom. And so I asked him, I said, how do you find the discipline? He goes, to me, it's all about mindset, muscle memory, repetition.
Yeah.
And just over and over and over. And I was like, man, and he gave me the analogy. He's like, Jay, it's like, and this is a young kid. He's 15 years old, right?
Yeah.
And he tells me, it's, I guess, he goes, to me, I see it like a basketball player at the free throw line.
Yeah.
Just over and over and over and over and over. He says, I know and heard about the great Kobe Bryant.
Mm-hmm.
To me, I'm Michael Jordan, right?
Right.
This kid's like Kobe Bryant.
Right. Yeah.
So Kobe Bryant, right? And what's fascinating is that it's like relentless, continuous practice over and
repetition,
over and
muscle
over
memory,
and over and over.
Yeah.
So to him, he's like, it's not enough. Even when if I do 100, I'm going to go for 101, 102, 100. It's just that mindset of just, it's not enough.
Yeah, and so I guess so. Start there. That analogy or that story is actually very appropriate for what we're talking about. Excuse me, because so for him, his best possible score is 100.
Right.
Right, because he's got 100 shells and there's going to be 100 clays and that's it, right? He's going to do 100. So I've done skeet and trap before, and generally when we go out and we do a round, it's almost like doing a round of golf, right?
Okay.
Where you do a round and then you shoot a box of 25. Right?
Okay.
So you're going to do 25 shells.
Yeah.
How many do you break out of 25,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so like I was shooting this gun. I had a Belgian Browning 16 gauge. My grandpa gave me. It was an old gun we've had in our family for years. And I loved that gun. It was a fun gun to shoot. It was beautiful. And I go out and shoot it, but I can only break like 8 out of 25. 8 out of 25. And so I was out shooting one time, and I would just go up. I just figured I'm bad at this, and I can't get it, right? And so I got shooting one time, and a guy tells me, he says, "Oh, you got the wrong gun." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" Well, the thing is, it's like I'm a little weird ambidextrous where I shoot rifles left.
Oh, really?
And the gun, the Belgian Browning gun, is a 5-shot semi-auto. And what it does is the shells eject to the right. And they're ejecting across my eyes.
Yeah.
And so what was happening is it was making me flinch. And so I was stopping because you're supposed to follow the clay. Right? I was stopping. And so I said, okay, I need a better gun, right? And so then I went and got a different gun, and now, I could do 18, sometimes 20 on a good day out of 25. And I improved my number,
good.
right?
Wow, that's good.
Yeah, so still not quite 100, but I definitely got more out of it, right?
Right.
So I would say so think about what I'm saying is what is my standard? Like when I was shooting with the Browning gun, it was 8. And when I was hitting 8, that was 100% of what I could do. It was just, and I just thought, I'm bad at this. I don't know how to get a different skill set.
Right.
Then I learned something and I applied it, and now I'm getting 18, so I got more. Yeah. Right. And then, I get maybe one day I can get to 25 out of 25 and do that a lot, and I'll never get over that. But I think that's the same thing for for a service advisor, when you're asking for more, what we're asking for is to hit a range. You see what I mean? I don't want them, if they're at 3.5 hours per repair order, I'm not saying you have to be 5.
Right.
I want 3.5.
Right.
I want you to hold ELR. And if those numbers start to slip, we're going to talk about it. I need you to write up enough customers. And that puts you in this target range where you're in, let's just call it the 18 to 25 range, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes it's 100, sometimes 18. I think if you're in there, I'm not really asking for a lot more.
Yeah, so I think that's the difference, right?
Right.
To me, it's.
But if you're below that, if you're doing 8, and I want more.
Right. But to me, it's just repeat the greatness. Just repeat it. Just do it again,
exactly.
Right? I mean, just like the Kansas City Chiefs, just like I would want my Niners to do, just like how you'd want your Dallas Cowboys to do one time again in your lifetime. You want it to be repeated, right?
Yeah.
Right? And so the thing is that's the thing where I'm at. I'm not trying to tell you I'm not asking you for more. I'm asking for again.
Yeah, if you can.
Again.
Yeah, so if I'm good enough to shoot between, then what you should expect from my performance is I'm going to shoot 18 to 25. Right. Somewhere in that range.
Right.
And that guy is most likely going to shoot 25 out of 25 most times. And if he hits 23 or 22, he's having an off day or he's missing a few here or there, because he's missing 25 out of 100. So, what are we talking here? 4 boxes, he's missing 5 shots a box, right? Yeah. So he's in the 20 range, right? Which is, so, okay, well, this is where we expect you to be. I'm not asking for him to be 22 or I'm sorry, 27, because he can't. Do you see what I mean? Because there's only 25 shots. And so it's the same thing with them. And I think this is where I think service advisors and managers get lost in 2 different places. One is the advisors get lost because they feel like we're demanding of them because we want the effective labor rate to go up.
Yeah.
But they don't have any. The problem is their illusion is they think they control that, and they don't.
Yeah.
They have influence over it. They can affect it. But the truth is the price is the price. The price is what we say it is.
Right.
And so all we're asking for you to do is sell it for the price we're saying it is.
Yeah.
And nobody's out there negotiating the carton of eggs. It's freaking $8, right? Or a gallon of gas that went up 4 times. It's like it's just you walk up, beep, scan your card, and you buy it, right? And so somehow in our business, we think it's this negotiable thing. And then when the number needs to go up, the ELR needs to go up, the advisors feel pressure.
Yeah.
Now I got to find a way to sell it. Rather than just saying, listen, organically, stuff's going to get more expensive. They need to get used to that and accustomed to that and stop getting in this feeling like they need to do more. And then if you're on the bottom end of the range, then you need to start thinking about your tools and skills. Like I was saying, do you have the right tools? Do you have the right skills? Are you in the right place? What are you doing to get better? Are you looking for a better gun? Are you talking to somebody like me? If I went out and talked to somebody, I probably could have figured out what I had going on a lot earlier and would have been a lot more successful shooting clays. So I think, to me, those are the 2 camps that I think advisors fall in, and I really feel like hopefully there's no managers out there demanding if you're at the statistically, one of the highest averages, that they want more, right?
Yeah, it's unrealistic.
Yeah.
It's unrealistic. Now,
hopefully it's. I mean, that may be happening. I don't know, but hopefully not.
I think the big issue, to me, and my concern is can the system sustain it? That's the question for you, G-Man. Not the person. Can the system sustain it for the player?
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That's a huge thing. So
there you go.
Yeah, I'm asking you to put out a fire and you don't have any water, then my system's broken and what I'm asking for is unreasonable.
Right.
Yeah.
And so
100%.
So me as a high performer, and you know this about me,
right.
I asked a lot. I sold the 8 hours, but I need it done. I need the parts. I need the resources. I need the people. I need the lights on. I need stuff to happen.
Right.
Like you asked of me, I put it out there, and it is what it is.
Yeah.
Right? And one thing I think we suffer from is, look, you've asked me to squeeze more out of this thing, right? You need to sustain it.
Yeah.
You can't ask for excellence from me, and I don't have an excellent system.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? So what do you do? Like my question is, and that's a question that I have for you. What do I do, G-Man, when I'm trying to provide what you're asking of me and your system lacks the flow necessary for me to succeed. Because I'm telling you right now, I've heard this from advisors tell managers, and managers don't have an answer.
Yeah. Okay, so basically the scenario is I'm a service advisor, and I'm being told my ELR needs to be 180.
No. My CP labor dollars needs. Oh, you can break 125.
Yeah.
You can do that. Like, I can't, because even if I sold it, you don't have the facility. You don't have the capabilities of getting it done for me.
Yeah. So so then as leaders, as managers, we need to make sure that we have the right environment for that.
Right.
Like, we have to take ownership of the fact that they have to be able to produce what we're asking for them to do. And if they can't,
100%,
then that's on us, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So the thing is, you and I have both been of the same philosophy, right? Sell yourself into the pickle. We'll figure it out.
Yep.
We'll figure it out.
Right.
But there was times, bro, and you were there when I was selling, and my team leader says, we can't stop selling. We can't do anymore. I'm like, what? That's against my core values. That's against my creed. That's against my code. I'm a service advisor. If there's a need, I'm gonna take care of the customer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, well, we can do the valve cover gasket, but we're not going to do the valley pan gasket because that takes more time. I'm like, no, I sold the whole job.
Right.
Don't pick and choose.
Yeah.
Right. You want the gravy? I give you the gravy. Figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, I love it.
Well, okay. So then, I think, geez, man, if you're asking for more, then you have to be able to provide it. So what are you missing, right? Do you have the right info? Do we have enough tags, first of all, right? So if we don't, then I would say it's unreasonable to ask for more, right? If we don't have the right, we can't get enough appointments in. Right. Now, I can ask you to have the right per copy. Like, I can ask you to make sure your per copy's right in every. So, how many repair orders we bring in is not going to impact, other than if you write too many, your per copy will go down. But your per repair order should be, it should average statistically what you would want it to do. So I can ask you that. But if the volume is what it is and I can't bring more for whatever reason, I'm not bringing in more appointments, then I need to fix that, right? So as the leader, I have to support them and I have to make sure. And I think so that goes back to the other side of the equation, right? So you have an advisor. We want a certain amount out of him. We're asking for that to come out of him. So now I'm a leader and a manager. I need to go look at my system and say, can it support it? And if I understand why that's important, why more is important, if I understand that from a business perspective, then it becomes a little bit more of an urgency. I'll put a little more effort, so then all of a sudden now, okay, I'm hyper aware because I understand it. And to me, if you're a manager out there and listen to this, and you want to know why more, I would tell you is your business has to grow. You have to grow, and you have to keep growing, because if you don't, somebody else will grow and they'll take your market share. And so if you're thinking that, well, we're doing well and we're profitable and things are good, and I'm just going to kind of ride this pine here for a minute, like, that's a dangerous thing to do. Because it doesn't take that long before somebody to catch up to you and then all of a sudden become a little bit more available than you, and now he's eating your lunch. And now you want to go get those customers back. Well, it's too late. If he can go steal them, you left yourself wide open for that, right? I mean, think about it. Blockbuster did the same exact thing. They just let Netflix take their customers. They just didn't care.
Yeah, because they thought that they were the one. Like, they had it.
They thought they were invincible. They were like, we're Block. Who the hell are they? We're Blockbuster.
Right.
And they just didn't pay attention to it. And then slowly but surely, they just nipped at them until they were gone.
I'm gonna
so your dealership's the same way. If you're not growing, you're dying, right?
Yeah, but I'm going to tell you right now. So this is interesting. It's interesting you say this, because I think we took things to a certain level now where we gave in too easily. Let me give you an example. Elon Musk comes in with his Teslas. Everybody thinks we're going to do EVs. Everybody moves and goes into EVs. Everybody shifts to the EV thing, putting laws in there that we're going to have complete EVs by the year 2030, right? And now everybody now says, oh, no, we're shifting. Why? Because the customers don't want that. Yeah. Like, you went from one extreme to the other extreme, right?
Yeah.
It's like, we gotta conform and do everything EV.
Yeah.
And the guy's over here going, I asked for a hybrid, man. I just wanted to save a little bit more on gas, but I didn't tell you to put me into an electrical grid and shut everything down.
And I don't want to lose my gas car because I want my gas-powered car for the excitement of it, right? And so what they did was they just said, you get all electric and no gas now. And they're like, well, wait a minute. Like you said, I want a hybrid to improve my commute, and I wanted my gas car for the weekends. Yeah. And then we just decided to take that away from them.
We just took it away from everybody. Right. And so that's what I'm saying. Like I'm saying, when is enough, and enough sometimes is on both sides of the coin. Yeah. Right. Enough is like, stop making all these big decisions for me, or stop asking for me to do more unless your system can sustain it, unless you know what you want and what you need. Yeah. Right. And I think there's going to be a lot of people that listen to this episode and they're going to say, oh, I thought you guys were going to talk about stretching it, keep stretching the goals, keep getting better, keep doing more. No, when it comes to that, be consistent. Yeah. Right? Yep. If you need to sell $100,000 of labor and you've done it in CP labor, do it every single month. Day in, day out, have a routine, do it. Consistency happens. Yeah. Right? Because you go from a belief to knowing that you can do it. Now do it. And be consistent. I'm not telling you for more, just be consistent. Yeah. Right? And use the resources necessary for that. Now, what I need to tell you is you got to communicate. This is my big takeaway for any advisor that's listening to this, and for a manager, right? Get with your people. The question you ask them is this, and I would ask you, Gary, what, in order for me to give you what you want, which is more, or be consistent, or 3.5 hours, or whatever the ALR is, or whatever, do you think that this system is sustainable to take that? If you ask of me and I bring it to you, right? What assurances are you providing for me that the system can take it? Yeah, yeah. Right? And you have to accept it. You have to accept that could be the case, right? That this is what your customers want. This is what your customers need. Yeah. Right? Now, I've seen managers fight back and go, well, the advisors, well, G-Man, the advisor didn't do proper promise times. This can't be that. This can't be this, right? But I'm going to tell you right now, bro, when I was an advisor, I checked the patterns. If I knew that these techs could do a valve cover gaskets in an hour and a half, right? That was my expectation. Yeah, yeah. Because you wanted 3 hours. Right. Right? You wanted 3 hours. Now, people vary. I understand it. I know what you're going to say. Well, come on, bro. Like, come on, that's not fair, man. Look, when some of these guys get older or whatever, I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about if I know that John rocks out 100 hours a week, right? If I know that John can do the job, let's talk about Matt. Oh, yeah, Matt, yeah. Right? The unicorn. The unicorn. With or without it, he's consistently slaying 500 hours of freaking pay period. Yeah, yeah. Right? Even if, and everybody's like, oh, well, he has an apprentice and he's helping him out and doing this or whatever. I don't care, right? The guy's still slaying 500 hours consistently. Yeah. Yeah, he's the only one I've ever done the math on that and had that make sense. Because I remember the first time I did the math, I remember we saw that and I was like, ooh, yeah, we're blowing that up. And then I get there and I did, looked at how they worked and did the math on it. And I was like, man, like this is profitable. It's working for us. Right. And so it was like, yeah, I don't want to make this stop. So here's the question. Do you think the manager said enough is enough? Yeah, no, exactly. Right? Yeah. Do you think Matt was like, enough is enough? No, this is my livelihood. This is what I do. This is my profession. This is what I'm used to. This is what I do. Well, listen, we just had an advisor race recently, and we did a test of this system. We put a bunch of guys that we have been working with for a while that we have gotten some big results for them, and we put them in a race against each other. And we had one of those guys go to $200,000 in customer pay labor sale. Yeah. Which, remember, the original one was 110. It was your record at 110. At 110. That we were waiting for somebody to pop. Yeah. And he finally popped it. He popped it. Yeah. He popped it. And now he absolutely murdered it. Like, he exploded it. Yeah. And that happened because there's more. That happened because there's additional out there, right? And again, it's like he was able to go find another gear when he needed to when the stuff's up against him. So, again, you got to remember, you need to achieve at the level in which you're capable of,
When you're a pro, you're good as that, then you should come in and perform, right? And I get it, not every day that you want to. You don't always feel 100% like you want to perform. But you owe it to the people you owe it to the people you work for, you owe it to your customers, you owe it to everybody to perform at that level.
Yeah.
Because the truth is the need doesn't change, right?
I agree. I agree.
The customer's need doesn't change.
It doesn't change, right? And if you're adding more and we're doing the right things, and for example, right now everything is about video. We're going to do video MPIs, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do that, and the closing ratios through the roof, and everything is good, right? Right? Fine. This is great. Go get your tools. Do it all you want. They've sold you on the product. You sold the product. Now you're doing it.
Yeah.
Well, guess what's coming down the line, right? That oil change that now converts to the valve cover gasket, the control arm bushings, and tires, and front brakes, right? That was a 30-minute oil change that just converted. The next one is another oil change. You're going to sell this. You're going to sell that. You're going to sell the other, right? Can your system sustain it?
Yeah. Yeah.
You say you want, but be careful what you ask for. Be careful what you ask for. Because all you're doing then is you're trying to chase CSE or CSI or NPS and all that stuff, right? And you're telling the customer, I can do this for you, or your advisors are, we can get this done for you.
Right.
And guess what? Now you can't.
Yeah. Yeah, now you can't get it.
Right. And now what are you putting? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
What's
we're
the
just
point?
not, what's the point? We're not used to it. Right? And we're going to go right back. Oh, we need more text. Oh, we need more text. We need more text. No. You need more business hours. You need more diligence.
Yeah.
You need more flow.
Yeah.
You need more efficiencies.
Yeah.
You need more of that. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, for sure. And
You need more parts.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And again, I mean, it goes back to that, right? So we got the guy, the $200,000 advisor that found another gear and found more, and he can do that. But if I'm a leader too, I'm not going to count on that.
Right.
Like, I know he can perform somewhere now between above 110, 120 and up to 200 max, right? So I'm like, okay, so this is my range. But what I'm not saying is if he's off by 50 grand, my whole business goes down. Yeah. Right? And I'm going to grow systemically, not put pressure on them to do it, which then means like exactly what you're talking about is what are my systems in place to grow? You're going to grow. You need more techs, you need more advisors, you need more customers, you need more parts, you need better infrastructure in terms of how things are going to flow, how things are going to go through the shop, where are your porters, where are your car parkers, your shop help. Like there's so many pieces that are going to help you to continue to grow that are more than just telling that advisor he's got to do 200 grand every month, right?
No,
and this is the thing. This is the conflict. And you go to, and I just think this message, this thing of like the business has to grow to live and survive. Because if it doesn't, it will wilt and die. And it may take a while, but it will. So that means it's in your best interest for the business to grow, whether you're an advisor or a manager, right? But at the same time, we have to work together to make that. The manager cannot put undue pressure on somebody to achieve something that's not possible.
Correct.
And the advisor can't look out at the world and say, I remember when the labor rate was $60 an hour, and I don't care if you want $160 now. Nobody's going to pay that. Because you have to grow up because the world changed, right? And everything went up, and you have to live in the new reality.
Absolutely.
My mother-in-law is trying to – so my mother-in-law is 83, right? And she lives in this house by herself, and she wants to get out of this house. She wants to go to an apartment. And so she's going to make it. I mean, she owns the house outright. It's in a area, wealthy area in
East Bay.
Yeah, East Bay, suburbs, California. Sorry, I live in Texas now. I'm like, where am I? And at any rate, so she's going to make a good clip off and have a lot of money in the bank. And quite honestly, like she doesn't have that many years left on the back of her life. And so she should live good. She should live well for the next and carefree. She doesn't need to care for this stupid house.
Right.
Worry about the lawn and the yard and everything. So we're going to sell the place. So we start looking around at apartments, and of course she's looking. They're $3-4 grand a month. She's never paid more than $800.
Right.
And that was on the high end. Their mortgage for almost their entire life was $600.
Yeah, wow, that's crazy.
And so she can't adjust to that. She's like, I can't afford that. And so then I do the math for her and tell her, look, you've got this much money in the bank. And if you live to be 100 and something, you would still have money left over.
Right.
And so it's like, so you're fine. And you can travel and you can do all the things you want to do. I'm not saying go spend all your money in an apartment and not, she wants to travel and stuff, but she's so locked into the way things used to be, she can't make the adjustment.
It's hard.
And again, so then we're going and saying, hey, look, we had inflation. We had a big swing of inflation. We still are kind of living in some of that reality. That means prices are going up. So now we have to adjust the prices to accommodate for that, right? Mm-hmm. So we were up to around, I think, accumulated about 17% that the CPI was up overall, which means that if you raised your labor rate by 17%, you would be zero. Right?
Yeah.
Zero. Okay, that's zero. That's no growth.
Right.
That's not getting better, or that's zero. So, okay, so now what do you got to do? 20, 25% to try to keep pace and be able to pay pay people what they deserve, right? That's, again, a part of it. And again, everybody has to understand that. So if you're stuck in an old reality, get together and get with your new reality. If you're at the bottom end of the range, you're an advisor, get some skills, find some tools, talk to somebody to get above the range and get into the sweet spot. And then if you're a manager and you want to do more, which obviously you do, you're incentivized to do that, get together with yourself and your other people around your advisors and make sure you have an infrastructure to support what you want for them to do.
Exactly. So that
geez, ELR, they don't even have their pricing right and they want ELR.
Exactly. So, and that's what I'm saying, right? So those are my two big takeaways for you guys. One, as an advisor, right? Be consistent.
Yeah.
Enough is never enough, and that's up to you. That's up to you, right? Because to me, and I know this kid, right? He's going to go shoot. Once he hits 100, he's going to tell him, "No, I want to keep going. Like put another box in front of me."
Right. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like I want to keep growing, right? Mm-hmm. So the other day, it inspires me. It's one of the greatest movies of all time. I truly believe. Top Gun Maverick. Mm-hmm. The very intro of the movie, they were just trying to get 10 G's or whatever. Wasn't it 10? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, 10 G's, right? Mm-hmm. And so then I was like, okay, well, what does he do? He wants to go to 10.1, and he wants to go to 10.2, right? It's just in us. It's in us. Like, it's never enough. Like one of the things that I love about high performers, and one thing I know about myself, and one thing I know about you, GMan, is that we're never happy because we feel like we haven't provided enough. Yeah. We haven't done enough. We haven't made it enough. That is the mindset of the most successful people. It is never enough. And don't let it fool you. I'm not talking about people who are greedy. There is greed. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about being able to perform and do things at a level that excels your ability to know you're opening your lid. It's more. It's just not that. It's not about money. I'm not talking about money, right? I'm talking about could I run the 4-minute mile in 3.9 seconds?
Right. Yeah.
That's it.
I mean, and that's the thing. And it is the score. It's like there is a scoreboard for life, right? And then you're whether your scoreboard and the important things to you are your family and your home, but you're still measuring that. Yeah. So like my family always, we've talked about this a lot, right? My kids were like, to me, that was one of the most important things. I want to be a good dad. I wanted to have a good kids, good family. And so like very important to me that they had a life that was different than mine. And I vested a lot in that. Mm-hmm. And so that was my scoreboard. Am I providing enough? Can I do enough? Can I do more? Like we went to this vacation. Could I do a nicer vacation? Right. And could I step up my game a little bit? And so I'm measuring myself, and I know that I want to go out and get more because it's important to me to do more. Right. And I think if you think about that for a second, you understand that why, then you understand why it's important. Yeah. And I mean, business, there is nothing more important than that. I don't want to say there's nothing more important, but it is like one of the critical elements for any company, any size, is to continue to grow. Yeah. Because again, you can't accommodate. I mean, the population's growing. Yep. That's it. Period. Man, it's not growing as fast as it used to, but it's growing, which means there are going to be more UIOs. There are going to be more people to service. That demand is going to grow. If you do not start thinking about growing to accommodate that, they are going somewhere else. That's right. And they're going to shift brands, and they're going to shift dealers, and
that's what it is. And
you're done. And then everybody's hurt. So,
all right, G-Man.
Hopefully we got the point across.
Yeah, it was good. I think it was good.
We gave you guys some action items, some things that you can do. And again, we really appreciate you tuning into this episode of Heart Shop Life. Now we got the video rolling. We got a studio here, Dallas, Texas. We're going to be running some advisor seminar trainings out here coming up pretty recently. We got a lot of good stuff on the docket that's coming our way. And again, we appreciate just this here. We do this just to just to give back and just to give the information that we're getting as we're out in the field and working with dealers and working with advisors every day. And the payment for that is just your ears, and share the show if you like it and you get something out of it, and you feel like you got value, then talk to your friends and have them tune in, have them follow, and help us raise the listener base. So that's the thing we love the most. We can't appreciate that enough. So I want to say thank you for tuning into this episode, and we'll see you on the next episode of Hard Shop Life.